Good evening, one and all. We are back yet again. MRC Wednesday nights, race one of two, race three of four of the whole weekend. Race one of two for today. It's the competition here at the Suzuka circuit in Japan. We are now at just over the halfway point of the MRC season, and things are really starting to hot up in every championship, specifically this one, with the championship standings only down to, I think it's just under 50 points between two drivers. We are in for a treat tonight, and joining me for this treat tonight, it is the normal pairing of the last couple of weeks. I am joined by the man who's been a machine on commentary recently. It's Mr. Carl Edens. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Kyle. I wouldn't say much of a machine. I've just been doing my job as one of the comms people and making sure that whether it's a lead or a co, that I've been making sure that there's somebody in. So just doing what I need to do.
Things we're love to see. So what are you thinking for this?
Obviously Suzuka, very unique track.
Yep, the only figure eight circuit.
Only figure eight circuit, yeah, like you say. Many good things, bad things have happened at this particular track. I mean, obviously the worst one of the lot was the tragedy of Gil Bianchi in 2014 in that horrible wet conditions. I noticed Martin preserving tonight, so obviously one of his favourite moments of Suzuka would obviously be 1996 when Damon Hill sealed his name in the history books and became world champion.
Alright, okay.
But yeah, as for the track itself, very flowing. It's a very flowing track.
Speak of the devil anyway, he's in the YouTube chat straight away. Good evening, Martin.
He's never shy of jumping in.
Nope, not at all. Things we love to see. So first man out on track is the guy who's back in the championship. Mr. Melvin. Got himself a win in Spain 2 weeks back. Didn't race in Baku. So he's back with hopefully back with a bag tonight. Hoping to get himself back on the standings. As I say, there's 50 points roughly between Melvin and Stube in the CompTier Championship.
Yeah, Stube missed out quite a bit in Baku before the Easter break.
Mm-hmm.
Lost quite a bit of points in the championship to obviously his fellow challengers trying to catch him up. So he'll be looking to get back in the winning circle again to reinsert himself as the championship favourite.
100%. I'm sure he still is the favourite, but at the same time, since Melvin has been back racing, which to be fair, he's been missed. I'm actually good friends with Melvin, and we have missed him racing. We've missed his presence on track. So it's good to see him actually back racing again, and he's now in contention for a championship. Obviously a former Tier 4 champion in the past.
Yeah, he won I think it was the inaugural Tier 4 champion, the very first Tier 4 champion I think he was.
I think you're right with it, yeah. So he's hoping to win yet another tier as he comes around the final corner. Doesn't look like a bad lap to start at 29.5 as a banker lap.
Yep. Could be looking at some possible 28s. I mean, obviously those
hard tires.
Yeah, those in the higher tiers of expert and elite, obviously qualifying on the harder tyres, whether it's the mediums or the hards, because they cannot qualify on the softs.
Well, we do have a lot of reserves in tonight, obviously, with Mark Hodgson, who's just put in third place. Single track, G-Star Snipes is in. Sambal is a tier below. He's in my tier. Ziad, obviously another one. Jamer, who won this tier last week.
Yes, big up to that one. A great win for Jamie, being a sports tier driver, winning a comp tier race. So fair play on that
Fair
one.
play to him is right, yep. Geke, obviously a tier below as well, as a last minute replacement, has come in. Lobby and Saviour. Arma Red puts it on pole.
First 28 of the evening,
And
28-8.
I'm just going to stay quiet about who it is.
Yeah, Armour, fellow Northern Irishman. I bet you're smiling as wide as a Cheshire cat right now.
And obviously I'm right on board with a brand new driver in the comp tier today, Mr. Bobo, as he boxes. Oh, he flies into the pit lane. You have to be careful with that.
Yeah, almost hitting the back end of the Alfa Romeo, which my guess would be Melvin, as the other Alfa Romeo of Ziad is
in the box already, yep.
In the box already, yeah.
So, Stu out on his outlap in the Ferrari, single track allowing him through.
Traffic can be a problem here, especially in certain parts of the track.
Because it's such a tight circuit.
Yeah, I mean, sadly I fell foul of it on Monday.
Excuse me. Yeah, you mentioned.
And ended up starting in 18th, so...
Well, you still got a point out of it.
Yeah, I got finished 7th, so got
there you go.
A decent handful of points, which is needed for me and Fox in the championship, as we're
yep, 100% currently leading
that.
Yep. Used to you and the Mercs. First time we've seen Mercedes top in a long time in a championship. That's gonna start some drama in the YouTube chat.
I don't think either one of them are in the YouTube chat at the moment, and obviously, but nah, Chris and Ants are a phenomenal team in
100%.
In Elite, they're a phenomenal team.
They
work
are
so well together.
Yeah, you're right. They are Mercedes, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Head's gone. Anyway, moving on. Stu on his first flying lap. Let's have a wee ride on board with the current championship leader.
Yeah, currently coming through Dunlop curve, which is turn 7.
Which is a nightmare corner. I'm hitting that so far.
Nice and steady through the 2 Degners. Coming up to the kink of turn 10 into the turn 11 hairpin, which is actually called hairpin.
Oh.
Funnily enough.
Very creative.
Then the long sweeping curve of turn 12 of the 200R, because it's a 200 radius corner, into 13 and 14 of spoon. Get it wrong, you are a spoon. Then you got the long run down for the famous 130R of turn 15.
Yep, it's a very satisfying corner to go through, even though you're going flat out through it.
And then you got turn 16 and 17 here, which makes up the Casio triangle. And then obviously the final corner of turn 18 takes the shortest run to the line. 29.4, which is alright for a banker. Obviously the track will get rubbered in later on in the session, so times will start to plummet again.
Here from Martin up the line, that's a 30.2 on them hard tyres. 2-star Snipes is invalidated here. Is Wookie, the current Tier 4 champion from last season.
Yeah, strong performance that was for Wookie. First season as well it was for him, obviously in Tier 4, and obviously holding himself in the current Tier 3, which is Comp Tier.
Of course, he's still trying to learn without racing line for this season. This is his first season without racing line. So it's always going to be a challenge. I'm currently obviously running no racing line in the lower tier.
I mean, I can definitely say from past experience, because I never really even raced without the line turned off until I joined MRC back when it very first started.
I remember that.
And once you get there, as he does a 28.7,
a brilliant lap from Wookie.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I remember when you first joined.
once you get to grips with no line, it is very rewarding, especially at a track like Japan.
Yeah, 100%. That's what you said. It's a very difficult. It's very unique, but it is at the same time very difficult in its own ways.
Just jumped on board to Bobo, who's coming through Spoon.
I'm currently on board with Mr. Airways. Was currently second in this championship. Obviously now has been promoted as well though, so he's to make his way back up a new tier.
Good evening, Mandy.
Mandy and Connor.
Hello,
yeah.
Connor as well. Yep.
With a Stu fan in the chat. A very rare breed. Oh,
Bobo
Airways.
28.7 in the Mercedes goes.
Pretty Olsen to 28.5. Airways went a wee bit deep into the Casio triangle and messed his lap up there, so 31.2 for the Englishman. G-Stars invalidated his lap again. A great lap from Bobo in his first quali.
Obviously wants to make a good first impression, and you can't go wrong with putting it provisionally on the front row.
Yeah, have you seen Connor's comment there?
I haven't heard that nickname for quite a few weeks. Let's put it that way. I haven't heard that nickname used for quite a while. Funnily enough, it was Chris that came up with that one.
Alright, okay.
But sadly, I haven't got any hobnobs, so...
You've let me down now. So, currently riding on board with the Alpine, the stand-in of Geke. Was a last minute caught stand-in as the driver didn't show up for his race. So, let's see what the other Dutchman can do.
Yeah, we coming through Spoon.
We had that conversation obviously before the stream started. We have a lot of Dutch people in the league now. We are this is a very multicultural league.
Right, for that, Connor, when you're next racing, I know you're joking, but when you're next racing, I hope I'm on comms, because you ain't finishing and I'm making sure of it, mate.
Geke through the Casio triangle up to the line. It's a 33-1. He lost a lot of time through the last sector, it seems, but it wasn't too bad through the first few sectors. Here, I tell you what, Airways after we've just missed that, putting it up to P5.
Yeah, obviously a former comp tier driver himself, obviously now racing in Expert and putting in a good job in Expert, I must admit, racing amongst the likes of myself.
You trying to big yourself up there?
No. I'm only mid tier when it comes to Expert. I'm not
I tell you what.
Guys.
Sorry to interrupt you. Scottish Ninja's nearly 6/10 up, and he's went purple in the first two sectors. Wee bit deep into the Casio triangle. Let's see, coming up the line, he takes the narrow route. It's going to be a 28.4. A 7/10 gain on his last lap. A brilliant lap from Mr. Grant Swim. Another one of our fellow commentators, of course.
A McLaren ahead of a Red Bull.
And
I saw that last year in real life, I think. At this very track as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Who else is on the night lap? Geke will be boxing. JMR is coming round Spoon. Melvin's about to start his. Let's have a look. Needs a big improvement if he needs about a second of a gain if he wants to challenge for pole position, so he needs to get the foot down.
Yeah, he's currently on a 29.5, which is over a second down on Scottish Ninja's 28.4.
He looks good through here so far, tell you what. That's a brilliant first sector, I'd say, from Melvin. Up to the first thing. He hits a 31.7, 3/10
3
gain.
tenths up.
Yep, good start.
Oh, Mark's retired at the final corner.
He has actually, yeah. Melvin goes for the wide run through the hairpin.
It's not too bad to go wide at the turn 11 hairpin because it's slightly banked.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a banked corner.
Didn't even realise that. Martin Hill's given away the weather forecast for today's race. We're getting a full dry race.
Shame.
Unfortunately. 7/10 game by Melvin. I tell you what, if he keeps this going through the Casio, if he can nail this Casio triangle. Armagh Reds just put it on pole though.
28-1. I don't think Melvin's going to get near that pole position.
Let's have a look. He looks good so far. It's going to be a 28.8.
28.8, 6 tenths improvement.
A great lap to be fair, but yeah. Well, that's his qualifying finished then, because he wouldn't have enough time.
About 7 tenths off of pole.
But he slightly improves on his lap. And looks like Stubbs on his way out for his last lap as well, so we will keep an eye. Smith is invalid. We've got Jamer, who's a 2.5 up apparently.
Yeah, just coming into the Casio triangle.
Yep. One of the few American drivers in the tier, of course, Mr. Jamer. 28.8 also. Great
carrying on his strong performance as of last week. Not last week, but the week before, obviously, because we had the week off.
Oh yeah, of course.
So keeping his strong run going.
Everyone's getting refreshed and ready to go for this race, it seems. Avinash up to the line on his lap. The 30.80. An 8/10 game, but he doesn't really move from the bottom.
No, stays 13th.
So the only driver that hasn't set a lap, and it doesn't seem he will, is Mr. Sambal. He's the only one that can actually set a lap that hasn't.
Yeah, because obviously those like G-Star, Ziad, Kiza, Lorpi and Saviour obviously can't because they're 2 tiers higher.
Yeah, Sambal's below.
I didn't say Sambal.
No, well, I'm just saying with him not setting a lap time. Sorry, I missed it right there. Oh, anyway.
He's probably playing the safe bet and probably saving his tyres.
Well, this is the man we're looking out for, Mr. Stubb. Morgan Stubbs. He's got a good way to go if he wants to challenge for pole position. So let's ride on board his full lap to see if he can challenge anywhere near the top 3. Of course, obviously
wearing Carlos Sainz's helmet, so he's hoping for a very smooth operation tonight.
Love it. First sector done, he goes 3/10 up straight away. 31.7 in the first sector. Very nice through the Dignas. Yep. Up towards hairpin. Oh yes, I can sort of see the bank on the corner now. You mentioned
it's not a obvious
slight,
bank, but it's very slight.
Ryan turns, what is it? What's this? 12 and 13 up to Spoon corner.
Yeah, 13 and 14 is Spoon.
Ah right, okay, so 11 and 12 then. Was it?
12 is 200R.
Right, beautiful through Spoon. Coming up to the second detection zone of the thing, and he's a second up, almost 9/10 up, coming through the last sector. Can he nail the Casio triangle?
To probably leapfrog his teammate at the moment.
Single track up to P2, I've missed that.
Yeah.
But here we go, where is he gonna go? He goes to third, he doesn't quite jump his teammate, but that's a brilliant lap. Oh, Freddie Olsen's lost it at the last corner. He was up by 5/10 and he lost it. I switched to him at the wrong time. Bobo!
Wow.
That's a lap. By 0.02 of a second faster. He goes pole. Welcome to the league. Now that's a lap.
and Smith's not on a lap, so I think that's qualifying
That's
done.
us for quali. So that was unreal at the end. So then, the grid is as follows for the Japanese Grand Prix, round 7 of 13 in MRC season 13. We have Bobo on pole in a debut pole position from Bobo, a brilliant lap from him. Followed by Arma Red in P2, I'm so happy to see that, I'm proud of him. We've got single track, the tier above in P3 on his medium tyres. Stube, his teammate just behind him in P4. Single track, not single track.
Scottish Ninja.
Thank you. In P5. Freddie Olsen is in P6. The other, a good shown from the McLaren boys, Wookie in P7. We have Airways in P8. Jamer in P9, a great lap from him. Melvin rounds out the top 10. We will go through the rest of the grid now. We've got Mark Hodgson in P11 on the hards. Smith in P12. Avanash in P13. And Geke, the last of the time setters, followed by G-Star, Sambal, Ziad, Kaiser Soze, Lobby, and the current MRC X Elite Champion, Xavier. So then, it's probably going to be the hardest prediction to get to ask from you, from judging by that. But what are you thinking?
Obviously, it depends on how they set the car up, because sometimes you can have a car set up that's good for one lap, but then doesn't work as well in the race. For Compter, it could be possibly anyone in that top half. Anyone in that top half are capable of winning.
100%. So, any names you're going to mention, or are you thinking, or you just want to let it roll out?
I'm just going to let this one roll out, because, like I say, anyone in that top 10 can win it.
Very, very true.
Obviously, with him being championship leader, Stubbs obviously wanting to be the one to win it.
Oh yeah, but then there's Melvin, who, as you say, is in P10 at the moment, back in the tier, back in the fight for the championship. So yeah, it's anyone's game. Make sure to put your predictions, folks, in the YouTube chat as well. I'd like to see what you guys are thinking.
Obviously, we've got the 5 minute break at the moment.
We do indeed, so we can have a wee chat about about things. Anyway, good start. So obviously, as we've mentioned, last week it was Jamer that ended up winning in unforeseen circumstances in the comp tier.
Yeah, quite a surprise. Obviously, I think it was the first race he stepped up. I think, I'm not 100% on that, but getting a win in a tier that you're lower than can be a very big confidence booster.
100%. And it shows, to be fair, as well. Obviously, where he's qualified, he's not qualified too bad for this race. So,
if I remember rightly, I think he's qualified 7th, was it?
Something like that. He's in the top 10 anyway, which is great for him. But if you forget,
looks like we're about to go on formation lap.
He also finished third in the sport tier as well, so a great weekend, or a good Wednesday night for him. With the fastest lap, so he didn't get the fastest lap, never mind. But anyway. So as to reiterate the grid then, we've got Bobo on pole position, Arma Red in P2, Single Track in P3, Stube in P4, Scottish Ninja in P5, Freddie Olsen in P6, Wookie in P7, Airways is in P8, Jamer in P9, not P7.
P9 it was.
Melvin in P10, followed by Mark Hodgson in 12th, Smith in P12, Mark Hodgson in 11th, not 12th, Smith in 12th, Avinash in 13th, Geke, I will get words out, in P14, G-Star in P15, Sambal in P16, Ziad in P17, Kaiser Soze in P18, Lobby and Saviour 19th and 20th. That's a sight you see
just
all the
having a
time.
look at the tyres, there's quite a selection of tyres for the start of this. You've got almost a big split. You got quite a few on mediums, quite a few on softs, and a few on the hards.
Of course, yeah, that's very diverse, isn't it?
J-Mir on the softs in P9, obviously wanting to get a quick start. Same with the likes of G-Star, Sambal, Lorpy and Saviour towards the back. Geke, Smith, Mark, Wookie and Martin on the hards, and the rest have gone for the mediums.
100%, yep, that's correct. And so here, we're in for a treat anyway, I have to say. From what, if qualifying's anything to go by, this is going to be some race.
B17 wishing Kaiser and Armour luck from the YouTube chat.
Yep, I'm wishing him good luck also, to be fair, as well as everyone else.
Yeah, Armour on that front well in the blue and pink French car.
Yep, Arma, not Arma.
Yeah. He's been disqualified because he's overshot his grid box.
Yep, as I say, it's a known fact, Northern Irish people can't park. So
I'll keep an eye on that if I watch sports here from now on to see if you get disqualified.
I can park it. I'm the only one that can. I'm the only one that can bloody park.
Ooh.
So then, here we go. The lights are up. We have 27 laps ahead of the drivers here at Suzuka, and we are racing. A great launch from the Mercedes up to the front. The Haas at the back of the grid had a great start, as well as Stu. A wee bit of contact between, I think it's single track, and Wookie at the back in the midfield.
A lot of positions. Lorpy from I think it was either 19th or 20th up to 14th, Saviour up to 17th as Geke's tumbled down to 20th.
Stu's up to P3 already. He's on a charge straight away. Been a great start, to be fair, from a lot of drivers. The two McLarens have had a good start.
Yep.
Melvin doesn't move out of the position, a wee bit twitchy out of the second Degna.
J-Mir making a place off the
Mark
start.
Hudson going for a dive up the inside and he hits Fairways.
Dear.
Mark Hudson is too deep into the hairpin and has taken Airways with him. As he went to make a move on Melvin, he got a bit too aggressive, it seems. And contact between the two drivers. That is unfortunate.
Yep, that's probably definitely going to be damage to Mark. My guess is he backed right off and dropped to the back to allow
Freddie Olsen
Airways back in front.
Yep.
But I'll keep an eye on him, see if he got any damage on that Aston Martin.
Freddie Olsen ran a bit wide out of 130R, which allowed Scottish Ninja to swoop through. We've got a move happening down
on Mark's car, so
in midfield. Lobby and G-Star 3 on Smith. No damage, you mentioned?
Yeah, no damage on the Aston Martin.
Glad to hear. We've got an Alfa Romeo trying. How do we have a look into the S's, which is not a move you want to make, unless you're Yuki Tsunoda.
Brave if you want to try and do that.
100%. Wee bit of timing glitch at the moment, because apparently Armagh Red's a lap behind. Oh. I'll tell you what.
And Aston Martin going a bit wide in the two, in between Dagna 1 and 2 of Avinash, getting a bit too much speed through on the exit of Dagna 1.
Yep. Tell you what, the front two have sort of left Stube in the dust a wee bit. Stube's sort of been...
There's a bit of a gap there. Obviously, the two in front wanting to open up the gap.
Yep, Armagh Red seems to be closing in on Bobo as well. He's not letting him out of his grasp.
No, he's right up the gearbox, as Connor would say, chuff.
Yep, 100%. So let's see if he's gonna try. Is he gonna try and make a move? He's put the fastest lap in, so he is faster. Is he gonna try and make a move? He looks like he's just gonna stick behind Bobo.
Getting a bit of a tow from the Mercedes in front as well.
Yep, that's probably the best thing to do. Just let the drivers in front use their ERS up.
Yeah, obviously DRS is enabled now as of this lap.
Oh, there's a spinner! Scottish Ninja's lost it out of the second S.
That's not good for Team McLaren.
Nope, he was doing a good job as well. Was Grant.
Chaos Druid right up his trumpet.
Avanas with the first 3 seconds of the weekend, of the race.
My guess is one of those would be out of Degner 1 because he did go extremely wide, but you go that wide out of Degner 1, you're in danger of getting on that curb, unsettling the car, and even in the gravel on the outside.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's even just the point of cutting Degner 1 as well, which I've done a lot. You can also cut Degner 1 quite easily.
Yeah, cut it too much and the back end can come round because it unsettles the car.
Yeah. So Armagh Red's still all over the back of Bobo. Is he any closer this time? Getting towards the Casio triangle as we've got yellow flags in the middle sector, just leaving Spoon. I think that might be Airways. Gekke's right at the back of the grid at the moment.
Yeah.
Must have had a wee bit of a moment. So if we have DRS, we've got single track, and Stu's swapping places, so wonder if that's a wee bit of team orders.
Well, possibly. I mean, it could be
Stu probably thinking
single track jumping in front of Stu and saying, I'll jump in front, you stick behind me and I'll pull you along.
And he can close in on the likes of Armagh Red and Bobo.
Yeah.
Because obviously he will get...
Freddie in close proximity as well in the Red Bull, just behind Stu.
Our only Danish driver in the league, of course. Mr. Freddie Olsen. I think he's Danish. I'm pretty sure he's Danish. He's somewhere. I think he is Scandinavian.
Oh, we've got a yellow flag. That's Scottish Ninja, I think it was.
Not been good so far from Grant. So.
No, although he's got Sambal back out the hairpin.
Tell you what, Melvin's currently working his way up as well, up to P7 from P10. And he's all over the back of Wookie. Ah no!
Scottish Ninja's gone
Scottish Ninja's lost it, and we've got a VSC.
Got virtual. Scottish Ninja
Spoon corner.
Crashing at Spoon.
Okay, further at the back of the grid again. He's in the boxing. Only a virtual though as well, which is good. Melvin decides to box.
Jamer's
no, he doesn't.
taking advantage of the virtual. Saviour also taking advantage of the virtual.
Of course, Saviour has to box anyways to use the 3 compounds, if I'm not mistaken. Being the 2 tiers above.
I don't know if it's for this tier. I know it's for sports tier, but I'm not 100% sure on this comp tier. It may be. But I'm not 100% sure.
No. Well, let's see if any what drivers can do. Let's see what the times of drivers can be. If you know, that made no sense. Let's see if drivers can either gain or lose to drivers in their deltas. Oh no, Geke with a drive through. Oh, and we've got a dive up the inside. We've got Melvin trying to push on Wookie into the hairpin. He's had to back out of it. That's very aggressive from the championship contender.
Yeah, Melvin feeling very racy because obviously Stu being in P4 at the moment.
They'll be talking to each other as well, as so they will. Saying to one another what's happening. But I tell you what, Armagh Red still hasn't got away. Bobo still hasn't got away from him.
Bobo's got a penalty as well.
Oh, he has. What's that for?
Noticed.
A drive-through?
Yes, drive-through under the virtual,
Unbelievable.
so that's going to
Armagh,
hurt him.
big time. Armagh Red, the net leader then, as it stands here in Suzuka. And obviously Bobo has 3 laps, of course, to use up that drive-through before he gets DQ'd. And we've got a spinner at the S's. I think that's Melvin. It is indeed. He's lost his front wing. Into turn 1. I wonder what happened there. That's a weird place. That's not the place you'd expect someone to lose it through turn 1.
Not commonly, no.
Obviously, you would obviously see someone spinning into the main wall, but it looked like he ran wide.
My thoughts of single track pulling Stube along is incorrect because he's currently 1.2 ahead of the other Ferrari at the moment.
Yes, indeed. Melvin, or Avinash and Mark Hudson top places in the midfield, sorry.
Stube's under slight pressure from Freddie in the Red Bull behind. And obviously being outside that 1 second window is not going to help him.
Not at all. So is Bobo going to box this lap for his drive-through? Armagh Red all over the back of him. Look how close he is. He's pushing him through 130R. Let's have a look into Casio Triangle. Bobo around well.
Casio Triangle.
Yep, Bobo is going to box, so that's going to allow Armagh Red the lead. Is single track though going to challenge him? He's got a 5 seconds as well. Oof. I don't think he knows about the. But there's
Martin
Freddie
look
as
to
well.
The inside of turn 1.
Freddie runs wide at turn 1. So that's going to allow Stu to attack him again. Is he going to keep the position that he is?
Stu plays the long game, sensible game, and backs out.
Yep. Xavier with the fastest lap on hard tyres. That's just crazy pace.
Well, he's elite, isn't he? So obviously going to be quite rapid pace.
100%, you're not wrong to be fair. So single track up to P2. Armagh Red obviously with the lead of the race now. After Bobo's drive-through penalty and then...
Martin's lost it on the hairpin! The Ferrari goes round and he loses the front wing on that Ferrari.
And we have a safety car. Bobo's retired. Has he
Bobo's gone out of Degner too.
It looks like he has, yes. He has actually, yeah. Wow.
So the pole sitter is gone.
Out. That is mental. So
it's a very, very common place to crash at Degner too. It's one of the most common places on the track.
And the hairpin to be fair. And the hairpin to be fair. Both very low traction.
Yeah, my guess is Martin got probably a little bit too eager on power out the hairpin, and the back end just came round. And I'm guessing it's probably the same for Bobo at Degner too.
Armagh El Jebber's the top 4 boxing, Ziad boxing, everyone apart from
Wookie stays out.
Let's keep an eye on everyone else.
I think most of the drivers are going to probably box.
Looks
Wookie
like it.
On the hard tyres can kind of afford to stay out.
Yeah, Trey on the hard tyres. Oh. What? Geke's got to be a bit lucky, I tell you.
Yeah, luckily...
He's just missed the safety car.
Not just that, he was ahead of Wookie as well, so obviously he hadn't gone a lap down. So he was able to go past the safety car before Wookie caught him. So at least he's still on the lead lap.
Yep. So he's back in it practically at this point in time. He's back in the race now.
Yep.
Nearly everyone boxed. Xavier ended up staying out. Obviously he boxed under the virtual, so he's okay. Same as Jamer.
Yep.
And Sambal. So we're still this first proper safety car of the race. So this is going to get very interesting now.
Yeah.
So Wookie obviously leads the way now after everyone boxing.
Not much time between the virtual and the full.
No, not really, Ashley, you're right. What was it, lap 4 was the virtual?
4, roundabout there for the virtual.
Well, obviously we're in Japan, and that's the race we've literally just had in the season. So, did you watch it last weekend?
Yeah, I was one of those up
Oh, you didn't get up at 6,
early.
did you?
Oh yes.
Oh, for goodness.
Dedication, my friend,
Wow.
dedication. Funnily enough, I was up before that because obviously making sure I was up. But yeah, I was one of those up at 6 o'clock in the morning for the race, 7 o'clock for the qualifying.
Fair enough. So obviously there's one driver in F1 who says they absolutely adore this track, is one of their favourite, being Mr. Sebastian Vettel.
Oh yeah, I
Won
think
4 times at this track.
what I think he said one of his biggest regrets with retiring is how much he misses racing Suzuka. But if I remember rightly, as we see shots of turn 2, it's not in the game, but in that little section behind the barrier around turn 2, there's a load of beehives that a project led by Vettel
Alright.
had been done, and they had drivers painting, I think it was the roofs of the beehives, if
Right,
I'm not
okay.
mistaken. Be nice if they put that in the game for the next one coming up, which is the end of May 31st is the release date for the standard version. Obviously you get the Champions Edition earlier.
Of course, yeah. So obviously the first F1 race in this was obviously 1976. Do you remember who won it?
No, but the first race at this particular track at Suzuka was 1987, which was won by Gerhard Berger.
Ah, yes, of course, yep. Fair play to you. The first race of F1, obviously it was raced as like other types of motor racing, but for Formula 1, the first race was won by Mr. Mario Andretti.
Ah. Driver with the most wins here is Michael Schumacher with 6, and I'm going to have you guess who is the most successful constructor. Who's won the most? The team with the most wins here. Who do you think it is?
Is it probably Merck?
You got the first letter right as the safety car's coming in.
Oh,
That
McLaren
is a
then.
very late call.
Be McLaren then?
Yeah, McLaren with 9 wins at Suzuka.
Wow. Yep, so as you say, it's a very late call for the safety car as Wookie goes into the final corner just after the pit entry. So let's see if anyone has been caught out by it, and it doesn't seem like it. Armagh Red's going to have half a look towards turn 1, but he's going to back out for the moment. Single check gets through past Smith.
A relatively short run from turn 18 to turn 1 down the start-finish straight, so it's not easy to get a run on a restart to make an overtake on a safety car restart with how short the run is.
Yeah, true. Obviously it's the only DRS zone off the track as well. For being such a fast circuit. Look, Wookie run wide at the first exit there.
Curve there, getting a bit unsettled.
Yeah, but here we go, Armagh Red up towards the hairpin. Before the hairpin as well, he gets through. He had a brilliant run out of the second diagonal.
Fresher rubber as well, because obviously he pitted under the safety car.
Yep, so he is retaking his lead back. My fellow Northern Irish driver.
Do you think you'll be able to follow it up when you're racing sports here next?
I highly doubt it, if I'm being honest.
Have faith in yourself.
It's hard to when I've only had one podium since I joined the league.
G-Star right up the gearbox of Friddy.
Let's have a wee switch to that then. G-Star obviously on their soft tyres.
Soft tyres, yeah. That explains it.
So So is he going to make a move? He had a brilliant run out of the final corner, so let's see.
So much grip compared to the hard tyres. Is he
going to
make
a double? He is! Through goes G-Star.
Must be running lower wings than some of them, so obviously the speed advantage there going into turn 1.
Yep, Ziad getting through on Stube. Xavier has a lot of...
Wookie's
dropping back.
Dropping back a few places, yeah. I think he's struggling with those hard tyres.
Lobby having to have a look at Stube out into Dunlop corner. Mark Hudson all over the back of Kaiser Soze as well as Kaiser Soze and Lobby. So we've got a wee bit of a train going on in the midfield. With a big train going on in the midfield. Look at that, going through towards the hairpin. Drivers having
wary sight indeed. Got to be careful going into the hairpin. Of obviously people braking early, watching the cars in front.
And of course, obviously on exit, being careful on the throttle. Obviously, was seen with Martin running wide, or spinning rather.
Yeah.
So it's been a good race so far. 11 laps down, 16 to go here in Suzuka. Stube managing to get past Wookie now.
Yeah, I think Wookie's obviously struggling with those used hard tyres. Everyone around him on fresher tyres. Goes a bit deep into the Casio triangle.
Just about to say
Loses it slightly on exit.
And look at G-Star, the traction he is getting out of the final corner. He's now take the lead off Armagh Red, and he's obviously not going to fight that, with G-Star being a elite tier driver as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Or is yes, G-Star is elite, and obviously that is the difference of the soft to the hard tyre.
Yep, so we have a new race leader being G-Star. Armagh Red, obviously the leader of his tier at the moment. Wookie dropping back further again. He's dropped back to P10 now. Does he regret not boxing under that safety car?
He probably is. I mean, it depends how much wear he's got on those tyres, because obviously the hard tyres, you could take them, well, I managed to take them in practice sessions about 20 laps at a push. They're not nice, but you can do 20 laps.
Ziad all over the back of Xavier, the two stand-in drivers for the day, fighting it out. So if you think about it, at the moment, obviously Armagh Red technically leads to Freddie Olsen. Stube is in P3. Net.
Yeah, because obviously Ziad and Xavier being elite, so...
At the moment, he's still on for another podium, Stube.
Which is what he needs, and especially with Melvin down in 16th.
Yep, big time. That's really hurt Melvin so far, hasn't it? As Freddie Olsen has been passed by Xavier.
From Xavier on Freddie, so that's Xavier up into third on track.
Wookie finally boxes off them hard tyres, which allows drivers to move up. Avinash is round wide at turn 1, sorry to interrupt you. So Smith and Airways is going to say thank you very much. And that's going to allow Melvin back into the fray. Down in the midfield.
Yeah, Melvin obviously gaining from that.
Yep, a wee bit too much throttle for Mr. Avinash Hanuman.
Wookie has changed on to the soft tyres.
Okay, he's probably hoping for another safety car.
Possibly. I mean, he's with staying out compared to everybody else.
Oh, there's a more wide runner, Sambal. Sambal room was wide at the second dig now. He's going to allow Geke through, and Melvin's going to make a move on Avinash into the hairpin. Melvin loves that hairpin at the moment.
It is one of the most used places for overtaking, but it can easily go wrong at the same time as well.
Mark Hudson being the prime thing of that, not to call him out or nothing.
I think what it makes it difficult to make a move at the hairpin is obviously you got that kink of 10 just before it. Yeah,
which is probably, if you take too much turning up there, isn't it? Then you're obviously liable, and there goes Xavier on Armagh Red. He knows these aren't his fights.
Yeah, he's playing the sensible game. He's got Ziad all over him as well now, but obviously...
Oh, yellow flag, Kaiser Soze's lost out of turn 1. Oh, very wee bit aggressive on that re-entry.
Got to
Two
be
Williams side by
aware of
side.
cars coming through if you go off track.
Yep. So again, this is allowing Melvin back into the fray.
Yep. Currently stuck in that train now was Ziad as Geke 3 seconds. Ziad goes wide into the hairpin when trying to make a move onto
Armagh Red. He's got back through though. There you go. That's more.
Armagh being sensible.
You've said it right.
They're not his fight, but while he's been playing the sensible game, Freddie has been slowly creeping up now. So obviously Freddie is
in this
one
tier.
of his fellow racers in this tier. So now he's going to be looking at he will have to start defending.
Yep, we've got Airways on Jamer having half a look into 130R, which is another place where you wouldn't want to make a move, as Melvin goes side by side with Keiser Souza into the final corner. Wee bit of contact between them, but very clean driving, and Keiser is going to stick ahead of him for the time being, but Melvin gets a brilliant run.
Melvin gets very good run
out
through
of turn 18.
Yep.
As same as Airways, he will get past Jamer as Melvin up to P13. So Melvin on a charge back. Airways obviously trying to get back into the fray as well after spinning early, or after having been hit early. Ziad's got a 3-second time penalty now. Lobby all over the back of Stube as well as Mark Hodgson on Lobby. So Stube, obviously the drivers behind him are higher tier drivers. So is he going to try and fight them, or is he going to just say go right ahead, guys?
Well, I'm just looking at the gap from Freddie to Stu. It's currently sat at 2.7.
So is Stu thinking of that as well? So obviously if he doesn't allow them drivers through, if they start fighting Freddie, does that bring him back into things? Or is he just taking his time in general?
Freddie's dropped back. He's 1.3.
Away from Armagh, yeah. Melvin past Jamer as well, into the Casio Triangle, I think it is, or out at 130R, is it, actually?
That would have been at 130R. As he's dropped it at the Casio Triangle, so all that hard work has come undone.
Awful for Melvin, as you say, the hard work has been undone. Loppy gets past Stu before turn 1. Armagh stays behind Saviour for the moment.
My guess is probably going to be using those in front, the quicker drivers in front, for a possible pull along.
Well, to be fair, he is currently leading as well, so yellow flag in the first sector in through the S's.
I think that was J. Moore.
So for the likes of Stu, what is the best point of action? Obviously, he's got two higher tier drivers behind him. So do you let them through, stick on the back of them, and let them catch up to Freddie? Or
it would be the sensible option, but you risk losing time to the likes of Freddie, who is obviously his next main challenger in this race. It's...
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Stubbs just made a move through Lobby.
Noticed that.
And through 130R. What a move.
Yeah.
That's why he's the championship leader.
It's better to make the move around 130R rather than going and making it into the Casio Triangle.
Yeah, but even Ziad ran away but wide there into turn out of
Stu's gone wide and got 3 seconds on the exit of turn 1.
That is awful for his race. Obviously, his next rival is probably Smith in P11, but speaking of, not anymore. Yes. It's not. He's just spun.
Now it's Jamer.
Yeah. Okay. Jamer is having a decent race, to be fair. Another strong race from him in the tier above. Showing, basically warning, giving a warning as, tell you what, Freddie Olsen has got past Armagh Red. So Freddie Olsen takes the net lead of this race for the comp tier. Excuse me. So that is major. Is Armagh Red did Armagh Red just let him through? We didn't see the thing obviously. So
No.
10 laps to go here. So obviously, drivers on the hard tyres, judging by what you say, they can go to the end. Is that right?
Yeah, the hard tyres
Can they go to the end
will
from this
go
point?
to the end. They will go about 20 laps. They won't feel nice, but they can go around 20 laps.
Okay, so obviously the likes of G-Star has to box again, as well as Mark and Martin. Smith probably has to box again. Jamer and Xavier will have to. GK probably has to, but yeah, see, if Melvin's went for the soft tyres, is that the right idea at this point? You probably think yes, wouldn't you? And obviously he's right at the back.
Funnily enough, I think it was Womack's in the exact same car that Melvin's in, the Alfa Romeo. I think he went a handful of laps on the soft tyre in Expert. I don't know how many laps it was, but it must have been about probably 10, 11,
Yellow
12
flag
laps probably.
Yellow flag at Dunlop Corner. I think Geke's gone round again.
Nightmare for Geke.
Yep, obviously it was a last minute stand in, so Stu...
He's actually gone as well. There's the safety car.
No. So then, that has just changed things completely.
G-Star straight in.
See, yeah, I think everyone's going to have to box.
Saviour. Yep.
You'd think everyone will probably go in now, apart from obviously the likes of maybe Melvin and Avinash at the back. But that has brought this field right up.
If you got the fresh tyres, it probably won't hurt because you're not going to lose anything if you're at the back.
Well, do you think they should probably box?
If you got the fresh rubber, then probably yeah, because obviously everyone else is going to probably be pitting in front of you.
I've just witnessed a Ferrari double stack. Single track went in first.
A Ferrari that good to do a double stack?
Well, it's hard to say because Stubbs lost out a wee bit to the likes of Well, actually, to be fair, he actually hasn't lost out too much, so he could probably... I think he's gotten away with it.
Everyone's pitted, so my guess is if you got the fresh rubber, go again, because then you'll be on the same tyre wear as everybody else. Avinash stays out.
G-Star, Keyser and Jamer, same as Wookie, have went for the medium tyres.
Melvin's back in again. He's going for the fresh rubber.
Yeah, he probably
decided to stay out and go for track position, which ain't a bad idea, but everybody around him will be on brand new tyres, whereas he's the only one who's not on brand new set.
So this has made things very interesting coming towards the end. This is just going to be a straight dogfight now. From now to the end. We're going to have, maybe 6 laps of racing left?
Everyone on fresh tyres. Avinash obviously on the one lap tyre.
So what we'll get, maybe 6 laps of racing, which would be 4 laps of DRS laps?
Round about that, yeah, because depending when safety car comes in, which will probably be lap 20.
Yeah. Could be next lap if Melvin catches up quick enough. Tell you what, obviously he's not obviously had the greatest of races, Melvin, but at this point he's still in with a chance at a top 10 finish.
Yeah, all it takes is one mess up from other drivers and he can take advantage of it, because we all have that ability.
Because don't want to toot my own horn, but during, I think it was the Spanish race, I was right at the back of the grid, and then obviously there was a wee bit of a mess up There was a bit of a mess in the middle I think it was the middle sector near the end of it. I was like sitting P17 at the end of a safety car and everyone was battling. So I ended up claiming a couple of, I think it was P8 at the end of it all. From that.
As actually Melvin's deciding to go in again.
Yeah, I wonder why. Wonder what he's done. He's put another set of softs on.
He's put another set of softs on. So my guess is he wants the freshest tyres out of everybody, but
okay,
you're not really gonna gain that much, because yes, you'll have one less lap tyre wear than everybody else, but I don't think it was worth pitting again.
He must know something we don't.
Probably.
But then...
But the thing is though, Martin gave it away in the YouTube chat that it was going to be dry.
But even at the same time, if it was getting wet at this point, you probably wouldn't. Like if it was the next 3 or 4 laps time, you wouldn't want to probably box for a set of wets. But to be fair, we will...
Yeah,
we'll find out. Melvin's on the back of the rally, so...
Yeah, the only thing I can think of with Melvin's thinking is he's probably gone for... I have now got at least 1 lap fresher than everybody else. That's the only thing I can think of with his thinking.
Well, it'll be coming in now, the safety car, so...
Let's hope for everybody's sake that it's not going to end up going in.
Nope, the 3130R, it's been called.
Ooh, G-Star backing off quite a lot there.
He is, isn't he? Oh, pretty awesome hit Saviour.
My guess is he wasn't ready for the amount of backing off G-Star has done.
Tell you what, it's a proper car park.
He's really backing up, because I can see cars stopped in the track. People are
ghosted
and literally not moving, so he really backed him up. He's got going again.
Yep, he's gone into the outer Casio triangle, so, and he's not left Ziad behind. He's actually Ziad gained on him out of there, but he's not going to obviously gain enough into turn 1.
Ziad on soft tyres, whereas G-Star's on mediums.
Look how close this is.
Yeah, Saviour also on soft tyres as well, so the front 3, Ziad and Saviour on the faster tyres, but...
You probably assume as well Freddie will try and get that 5 seconds removed in the steerage room later on, but we shall find out.
It depends really, because obviously you got to be watching the car behind, but G-Star did seem to back off quite a lot out of 130R, which must have caught everybody out, because there was cars stationary for about a second or so, because obviously everyone else had stopped as well, and obviously with the domino effects.
Yeah.
Not what you want to see really, because and then again, I'm not a steward, so I can't really voice my opinion on things.
Oh, well, here we go out of 130R Ziad, having half a look into the Casio triangle of G-Star. Let's have a wee look down the middle, down in the midfield. Freddie Olsen slowly catching. G-Star's put the fastest lap in. Mark Hudson closer to Airways at this point in time. He's going to try and make a move into on the main straight, which he has done. Very nice by Mr. Hudson. Freddie Olsen's got past. Saviour's lost it.
Saviour's made a mistake. Yeah, Saviour's gone off at turn 2,
and he's doing a wee bit of the blow moment.
Taking the tip out of Bottas. This brought 10 seconds for it as well.
Obviously, it's not his tier anyway, so that's probably why he up at the back, go to the back of the grid. Smith having a half a look at Avanash in the midfield. Coming out of Dunlop there into the 2 Degnas. G-Star and Ziad battling out for the lead of the race.
Yep, and obviously you got Freddie and your fellow Northern Irishman scrapping away for the
win, basically.
the tier win. But if you're Armour, do you sit behind Freddie,
In the hopes of obviously that he doesn't get the penalties off?
Or do you overtake him in case he does get the 5 seconds removed? Ideally, he wants to make the overtake and have the place just to make sure of the position.
Let's see what he can do out of the last corner. Ziad puts the fastest lap in. Has he got enough run on him? He doesn't, it seems. We'll have the RS enabled now, of course. No, we don't. Now we'll have the RS enabled, so the next lap's going to be where everyone's
seems to be even with the straight line speed between Freddie and Armour. Because he didn't seem to gain that much on to the back of the Red Bull.
No, you're right there. Melvin currently down in P15 at the moment. He's going to be getting P14, of course, obviously with that penalty to Avinash, but at the moment he does have a bit of a train in front of him, so if he can get on the back of that and hope for a few mistakes.
He has got the freshest tyres, so he's got that in his locker.
Yeah,
to everybody else.
I tell you what, I think is it Avinash at the front? It is. Holding everyone up at the moment.
He's at the front of that because the gap to Jay Moore is 3 seconds, so yeah, front of that queue. Cork in the bottle.
Yep. Let's have a look. Smith gonna have to make a move on Avinash here. There's gonna be nearly going 3 wide. There, Melvin's gonna have a look at Avinash as well. Is he gonna have a look at Wookie into 130R? He's made the move out before 130R, so brilliant. Double overtake by Melvin. Wookie's going to have another look into the Casio triangle, but he's... Oh, Melvin has a bit of a twitch. That's going to allow Wookie back through. For the moment, is he going to try and fight back?
Avinash having a look, but almost went into the wall at, at turn 18, but kept it out.
And Melvin manages to stay ahead of Wookie. He's not liking the Casio triangle at the moment, is he?
No, he's not. I mean, he lost it earlier on and he almost lost it again, but luckily he gathered it up and was able to hold position as well.
The Casio triangle turned into the Bermuda triangle for Melvin, you could say.
It does seem that way.
Avinash straight to the back of the grid now. Sambal has got past him.
As we now have quite a train forming behind Freddie.
Wookie manages to get past Melvin at the second Degner.
Because Martin's caught up to the back of Armour. Lorpy's at the back of Single Track, and it's all the way down to P8, the train behind Freddie.
So Stu basically could hopefully, we're hoping that Stu actually can catch.
2.2, but...
Oh, Armour Red going to try and make the move on Freddie. Freddie manages to stay ahead into the Casio for the moment. But is that going to...
he's jeopardised any kind of run he could probably get.
Has that ruined his exit?
Towards... No, he's not, but gee, the overspeed that he's got on...
Oh, contact! Freddie misses his braking point slightly onto Armour.
My guess is Armour braked earlier because of obviously putting the overspeed into context, but Freddie wasn't quite ready. But luckily, there's no damage on the front of that Red Bull.
That fight between Melvin and Wookie continues in towards turns 1 and 2. He manages to get through, does Wookie.
Luckily for Stu, he's got plenty of time on Jamer, so he will...
Yeah, it's hard to... You
stay in front.
If you actually think, the amount of drivers ahead of him are all basically the high reserve drivers, so he is going to gain. He's practically P3 on this track. Because ahead of him is being Loppy, Single Track, Martin and Mark.
Well, Ziad, obviously full place to motion, he'll drop down to P5.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of the top two actually. But again, to the top two back.
G-Star will drop down to P6, but from what I remember, it was Melvin 3 seconds.
It's not been a great race for Melvin, has it? He's fought back fairly well, to be fair, but at the same time,
That's one train behind Armour and Freddie.
Right. Speaking of the Devils, as Freddie gets back through.
Gets it back.
2 laps to go though, so he has to try and disappear now.
Get his foot down and hopefully open up the gap.
Indeed.
But we'll most likely see that 5 seconds in the stewards.
We will indeed, sorry. So we're keeping an eye on this battle at the moment for the practical win of the comp tier. We've got Melvin. Now Sambal's got past Melvin.
Yeah, they're all on time penalties, so they're all going to be for track position.
Yep, let's actually, as we head on to the final lap, have a look at what penalties everyone has.
Obviously, Freddie with that 5 seconds from in the pit lane. Stube 3, Wookie 3, Sambal 3, Melvin 3, Saviour 10 because of going across the grass after going off at turn 2, and then Avinash on 6.
Yep, so we've got a move for the lead happening here. Ziad and G-Star fighting away. Ziad gets 3. Or G-Star gets 3 on Ziad, rather. Jamer's lost it.
Final corner, turn 18.
Oh, no way. Sambal's lost it as well out of the Casio triangle. Sambal loses it.
Heartbreak for Jamer.
Big time. He was on for a great result. Look at this fight though between Ziad and G-Star, the two obviously higher tier drivers. Oh, Ziad goes a wee bit drifty out of the first dig now, but stays ahead for the moment.
Very aggressive,
and he's going to go for it in the hairpin. They're going to be side by side. Who's going to get the traction? It looks like Ziad, but they're still fighting.
Gets the move done.
Yep. But going into Spoon corner, G-Star wants it.
Essentially backs out before Spoon.
Trying to probably put Ziad off his line, but he doesn't. So heading towards 130.
Ziad's flashing. G-Star is not. So obviously G-Star's got a bit more ERS in the tank.
Yep, heading towards 130R. Is he going to make the move here, or is he going to try it into the Casio? He is going to try it into Casio. Is he? Ended up breaking. No, he's backed out for the moment. Armagh Red's is fighting Freddie in the Casio triangle. Sorry to move away from that battle. A wee bit of contact between them. But Freddie Olsen's going to manage to stay ahead of Armagh Red. And it's going to take go ahead of them, but he's going to drop the whole way back to 8th on track.
He's down to 9th.
Via penalties.
Yep.
So an unreal race that was. So provisionally, the race win goes to Armagh Red.
All smile in the Northern Ireland camp.
Oh yes. Brilliant result from here. I'm loving that. So then the grid is will follow.
And it will be provisional, barring stewards' decisions.
And of course, obviously, the motions. The game is going to give Zia driver of the day. So, obviously this is, as we say, this is provisional. But it's great to see the Northern Irish flag on the podium. Brilliant bit of racing from everyone, to be fair.
Yeah, quite a good race all the way through. Obviously a few errors from people, but you're bound to get that. We're all human. We're not computers. We are going to make mistakes. It's just part of human nature. Yep,
so then, the grid is as follows provisionally. G-Star Snipes takes home the result, and with Ziad in P2, Armagh Red will take P3 and the provisional win. for the Cup tier. Brilliant result from him. Single Trek is in P4, followed by Lobby in 5th. Mark Hudson in P6, with Airways in P7. Kaiser Soze in P8. Freddie Olsen, after the 5 seconds, jumps to P9 provisionally. Stube finishes in P10, followed by Smith in P11, Wookie in P12, Melvin in P13, Sambal in P14, Xavier in P15, and Avanash in P16. Jamer, Geke, Bobo, and Scottish Ninja are our DNF drivers. So then, Carl, your driver of the day choice, please. Who are you thinking?
Obviously, I don't want to be looking at the higher tier drivers that have come from the back to the front. I think I'm tempted to give it to Armour because it was a well-controlled race, start to finish, and he kept his nose clean and penalty-free, which has allowed him to take the win overall after, obviously, the 2 demotions of the 2 drivers of Ziad and G-Star, who finished ahead of him. So I think I'll give it to your fellow Northern Irishman.
I don't want to be biased, but it's hard not to agree with you. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that option. I'm gonna agree with you with it. So G-Star, not G-Star. So Armagh Red will take driver of the day from the commentary team. Congratulations to him on his provisional win. Obviously, as we say, provisional. So thank you again, Carl, for joining me.
Pleasure as always.
And thank you everyone for watching. That is part 1 of 2 done for MRC Wednesday. Obviously, join us for the sport tier next. You'll see another Northern Irishman driving.
Your very self.
Yep. But
that'll be at 8:45.
Yep. So I have to go set up now.
Yeah, it's McLaren you're in, isn't it? If I'm correct.
Ferrari.
Oh, Ferrari, is it?
Last season was McLaren. No, 2 seasons ago rather. It was last season was Red Bull actually. So anyway, less about me, but join us in just about half an hour's time, just under half an hour's time, for the sport tier race, which will be covered by
Stube on lead, and I think it's Stefan on co-com.
Yeah, possibly, yes. So join us for that. Thank you very much, Carl, yet again. And good night, everyone.